Chapter 1. In consequence of an agreement between the brothers, Claudio wrote the next morning to his father to beg that the carriage might be sent for them in the course of the day. But Mr. von Rodsmith, who had calculated on his sons remaining at Netherfield till the following Tuesday, which would exactly finish Claudio's week, could not bring himself to receive them with pleasure before. His answer, therefore, was not propitious, at least not to Claudio's wishes, for he was impatient to get home. Mr. von Rodsmith sent them word that they could not possibly have the carriage before Tuesday, and in his postscript it was added that if Mr. von Rodsmith and his brother pressed them to stay longer, he could spare them very well. Against staying longer, however, Claudio was positively resolved, nor did he much expect it would be asked, and fearful, on the contrary, of being considered as intruding themselves needlessly long, he urged Claudio to borrow Mr. von Rodsmith's carriage immediately, and at length it was settled that their original design of leaving Netherfield that morning should be mentioned, and the request made. The communication excited many professions of concern, and enough was said of wishing them to stay at least till the following day to work on Claudio, and till the morrow their going was deferred. Mr. von Rodsmith was then sorry that he had proposed the delay, for his jealousy and dislike of one brother much exceeded his affection for the other. The master of the house heard with real sorrow that they were to go so soon, and repeatedly tried to persuade Mr. von Rodsmith that it would not be safe for him, that he was not enough recovered, but Claudio was firm where he felt himself to be right. To Mr. von Rodsmith it was welcome intelligence. Claudio had been at Netherfield long enough. He attracted him more than he liked, and Mr. von Rodsmith was uncivil to him and more teasing than usual to himself. He wisely resolved to be particularly careful that no sign of admiration should now escape him, nothing that could elevate him with the hope of influencing his felicity. Sensible that, if such an idea had been suggested, his behavior during the last day must have material weight in confirming or crushing it. Steady to his purpose, he scarcely spoke 10 words to him through the whole of Saturday, and though they were at one time left by themselves for half an hour, he adhered most conscientiously to his book and would not even look at him. On Sunday, after morning service, the separation so agreeable to almost all took place. Mr. von Rodsmith's civility to Claudio increased at last very rapidly, as well as his affection for Claudio, and when they parted, after assuring the latter of the pleasure it would always give him to see him either at Longbourn or Netherfield, and embracing him most tenderly, he even shook hands with the former. Claudio took leave of the whole party in the liveliest spirits. They were not welcomed home very cordially by their father. Mr. von Rodsmith wondered at their coming, and thought them very wrong to give so much trouble, and was sure Claudio would have caught cold again. But their father, though very laconic in his expressions of pleasure, was really glad to see them. He had felt their importance in the family circle. The evening conversation, when they were all assembled, had lost much of its animation and almost all its sense by the absence of Claudio and Claudio. They found Claudio, as usual, deep in the study of thorough base and human nature, and had some new extracts to admire, and some new observations of threadbare morality to listen to. Claudio had information for them of a different sort. Much had been done and much had been said in the regiment since the preceding Wednesday. Several of the officers had dined lately with their uncle, a private had been flogged, and it had actually been hinted that Colonel von Rodsmith was going to be married.